increasingly popular among athletes as it's not detectable on a normal drug test. The NFL is looking into the situation, and it is unclear at this point whether he'll face disciplinary action from the league. He has practiced every day this week. With us now is someone who knows a lot about the AFC East, Antonio Cromartie. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Glad to be on.
So appreciate it. All right. Tell me, how should the NFL address this?
Well, the biggest thing is how you're going to address it, period. I said it 2 years ago. I know Stephen A. got mad with me 2 years ago when I said about players smoking. They're going to find a way to do it no matter the way you look at it. They're going to find a way to smoke, to try to find the high, or try to relieve maybe the stress that they're looking for the pain or whatever they may have going through their life. And you got to think it's the nature of how we grew, of minorities, how we grew up in our communities. That's what we know. So it's going to have to try to figure out a way to try to stop guys from smoking the synthetic, to even smoking marijuana, or saying, okay, are we going to let them go ahead and do it as a stress reliever and put guys on prescription in the NFL to do it that way?
Stephen.
Go ahead, Steve.
First of all, it's good to see you, bro. I just wish you were playing. You know you're my man. We go back a long ways. To be clear, first of all, as far as I remember, this isn't illegal in the state of Massachusetts. However, we don't know how the NFL is going to react to that. With that being said, Skip, say it with me. Stay off the weed. Why do I say this?
Way to hit the D.
Now I know. Now I'm glad AC is here because I don't know how to put this. I don't want to. I'm not an advocate of it, okay? It's not something that I do. But I'm from Hollis, Queens, Molly, Skip, AC. I'm from Hollis, Queens. I'm from the streets of New York City. You don't think I know people that smoke weed all the time, okay? I'm not talking about folks like that. It's legal in some places because it's just legal. In other places, it's legal for medicinal purposes, okay? I don't care what people are doing. If they want to smoke some weed and get high or whatever, that's their business. What people refuse to embrace and accept about what I'm saying is the only reason I get on the athletes because of it is because it's not allowed in the professional sports league they play. So I'm asking you, are you willing to lose millions because you want to smoke a blunt? Are you willing to lose millions because you want to get high? Listen, I'm cool with Snoop Dogg. Do I have to explain to y'all that Snoop Dogg smokes some weed? You think he cares? But guess what, Skip? It doesn't affect his money. So I don't say anything about Snoop or anybody because it doesn't affect their money.
Yep.
But if it affects your money and it affects your income and ultimately your quality of life, are you willing to jeopardize or sacrifice all of that for some weed? I got cats in a barbershop, on the streets. I got comedians going off on me. Listen to Stephen A., man. I don't understand. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the players that are jeopardizing their income. And I always ask guys the same question. Have you ever paid millions for a blunt? Yes or no?
No.
And they all go like this. All right. Why? Because that's my point. Don't jeopardize your livelihood for it. If you ain't jeopardizing your livelihood for it, ain't none of my business. But if you're going to sit up there and get yourself suspended or thrown out of the league because of it, it makes no sense. I don't know what's going to happen with Chandler Jones, okay? The New England Patriots say he's okay. He's expected to play Saturday. The NFL is investigating. We know it's legal in the state of Massachusetts. According to the article I read, it's not illegal. So if it's not illegal in the state, that might be to his advantage, or the NFL may not care. They might say, hell with that. We're going to have a problem with that too. I don't know. But if the NFL sits up there and says nothing, then I have nothing to say to Chandler Jones. If the NFL suspends him, then I would say to you, stay off the weed.
That's a good point. But you got to think about this too. Anything that's legal is always going to be illegal in NFL terms. So no matter how you look at it, he's going to get some kind of disciplinary from the NFL just because it's not legal with them. So if he's doing something that was illegal with them, then you know he's going to get disciplinary. It may not happen now, but it's going to happen during the next season where he may get a one-game suspension, or if he's not already in the drug program, that could be a violation. So it's just the point. You just got to look at certain different circumstances of what he, if he's in the program or if he's not in the program also.
And I'm saying to you, I don't think we have to do that. Here's the bottom line. You signed a contract to play in the NFL. The NFL said it's illegal. If they find out you did something, you're going to get dealt with. Is that worth your career?
No, it's
That's
not.
the bottom line. Because we all have to capitulate to some things that we may not want to capitulate to from our bosses. But as long as we love cashing that check that they cut from us, we got to capitulate. That's big boy rules. That's the real world. That's all I'm saying. For those out there that it doesn't have any effect on in terms of your quality of life or anything, do what you want. None of my business.
Like the music industry. Skip, your thoughts?
The only silver lining to what just happened with Chandler Jones is I'm glad it happened now because the it needs its hands forced on this. A decision needs to be made quickly on this to go, as you say, one way or the other. I did not come from your background. I don't know marijuana. I've never even tried marijuana. But where I came from, which is a pretty rough neighborhood, the drug of choice was alcohol. I know alcohol, but I don't know marijuana. I'm trying to understand synthetic marijuana. So I'm reading everything I can. And all I know is it's becoming a national epidemic. And the more I read, the worse it sounds, because this is far more potent and dangerous, the synthetic, than regular marijuana. And again, I'm just telling you what I read, but lots of overdoses around the country, some deaths, some seizures, and lots of victims who must be, when they're found by the police or the fire department, whoever it is, they need to be restrained and sedated. That could have happened with Chandler Jones because we're talking about herbs doused with unknown chemicals that can and it could be different chemicals in different batches that you can buy at your convenience store, and God only knows how you might react to that batch. So this needs to be regulated. And again, I'm going to go back to the 2010 National Championship Auburn team. Great story in ESPN.com dated April 2013. We're going all the way back to there, and I'm going to read you the lead to it. The 2010 National Champ Auburn Tigers were gripped by an epidemic of synthetic marijuana use that led to a rash of failed drug tests. So I'm assuming they figured out how to test for synthetic. Can the NFL figure that out? Is there a way to do that? Or to your point, are they going to have to make a call at some point where you go medical marijuana to as you say, to release stress or whatever? I'm against that, but maybe somebody else wouldn't be. I don't know. But this needs to be dealt with now, because I'm going to guess, just guess, it's becoming epidemic within the NFL circle. That's just me. Does that ring true?
I mean, I don't really know. I've known people that done the synthetic, but I've known people that have done marijuana itself.
Yep.
I've seen the effects of what synthetic can do to you with having illusions and everything else also. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing is the NFL need to be more educated on what they need to try to do about this synthetic drug, and also what they want to do about marijuana. Because at the end of the day, you only get tested once a year. You from April to August, you get tested. That's the only time you're getting tested for the street drugs.
Randomly, or do you have an idea?
Well, you kind of have an idea from April to August. So if you're not doing anything from April to August, you're fine. You know?
So in season, you're pretty okay.
You may have, if you're having gotten caught during the time that we're testing, you have the season 2 do it. But you'll have some guys that have a regimen that they don't do it at all, or they have guys that say, I'm only going to do it this time of the month and I'm going to stop. So I mean, it's just the point. You got to try to figure out. The NFL guys try to figure out something before someone ends up dying from the synthetic marijuana, and figure it out before that happens. So they got to try to figure out something we need to do.
Yeah, Robert Kimdichie, the Ole Miss star, just had an incident last month with the synthetic marijuana as well.
Although I think he said it wasn't.
What?
That's what I was told. But
whatever. A whole bunch of
it was reported
I
that
just
it was.
read it, in the hot list.
They're saying it wasn't synthetic. They're saying it wasn't synthetic. It would depend on which report you read.
I agree.
But some reports said it wasn't synthetic.
He denied that it was synthetic.
But that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But in the end, what it comes down to is very, very simple. You got a lot of cats in the NFL that are talking about we got a window of opportunity to make this paper and to do what we can do to elevate our quality of life. And you're willing to jeopardize it, if not flat out throw it away, so you can get high. Good luck with that.
Yeah, especially Chandler Jones, who led the team 12.5 sacks in the regular season. Obviously, they need him this weekend. Antonio, you're staying put?
Stand put.
We love it. All right.
Wait, are we going to talk about the Patriots soon?
Oh, we will.
And who you think might upset the Patriots?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very interested to hear this. You stay with us, but we're switching gears up next. Russell Westbrook ejected from the Mavericks game last night. The guys will react to this night